right, here we go.
Welcome to the BlabberMalt Show with your hosts, Dave and Mathias, two guys that blabber incessantly about beer, brewing, and bullcrap. Stick around while they brew up another tasty episode.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
All right, man, here we are. We're back again. BlabberMalt Show, episode 54 for March 9th, 2024.
We made it.
We made it. We took a week off. We had some scheduling conflicts, but we're back.
We are back.
Glad
And we
you
survived the apocalypse yesterday.
Yes, we sure did. Thanks for sticking with us. Hey, before we get too far, don't forget to like and subscribe. We're the BlabberMalt Show, Facebook and YouTube, and at BlabberMalt at X, Spotify, X, all the other places. So,
Yeah, you know, I want to see everybody out there. We're getting some really good views and on all of our videos.
Yeah.
Thousands of views, which is great. Can't believe you guys want to watch us do all this, but it's fun.
I know, all the bull crap.
But
It's
get
tiring.
over here and, hit that like button, because our numbers on Facebook for likes and follows aren't very high compared to the thousands of views that we're having. So like, share, get the word out for everybody.
Yeah, it helps us out any way you can interact with the material, even comment and share it. Yeah.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah, find us on the other platforms as well.
Heck yeah.
So let's get into this.
It's time to mash in.
Yeah, I guess we forgot to mention, hit the Beacons link and you can go to our Spotify store and get the merch. We got the glasses and the hat and the hoodies and coffee mugs and whatnot.
I didn't wear my swag today. I should have.
Yeah.
Should have had some. Well, this is your coffee IPA still.
Yeah, we're still drinking on this. We're in the second keg, about halfway done. So
we should have been drinking out of our coffee mugs, kind of promoting the process here.
That's true.
That's what made me think about it. But it's good beer.
Thank you. Yeah.
What was the coffee you used again?
It was an African, I forget what region, but it was an African bean I roasted myself. So
nice.
Full city roast.
Ooh,
Yeah.
look at you. And what do you use for a roaster? I'm not sure I even talked about this.
I got a, oh boy, can't think of the brand name. Gene Cafe, I think that's a brand of a roaster. It roasts about a half pound at a time. Yeah. Just a off-center barrel roaster.
I think that's an interesting point when we look at the fact that as brewers, we ferment and kind of make our own thing. It kind of just transcends not just
to everything.
It does transcend to everything.
You try to do everything yourself,
including, your brew house you're doing upstairs.
Yeah.
And we built one too, and built out restaurants and just do silly stuff because why not? If someone else can do it.
Yeah, and then it spills over into yogurt and cheese and sauerkraut and
sauerkraut.
Everything.
I ferment my own vegetables and make my own sauerkraut. I do it. I just did finishing up a 15-pound batch of sauerkraut, and I learned some stuff. Last couple times I did it, and this time I made all of my kind of dry seasonings in the bottom.
Yeah,
and I covered them with some of the outer leaves. The cabbage. That way they kind of held it down.
Yeah.
And then I loaded it up with a couple pounds of cucumbers, pickled cucumbers to slice up. So,
nice.
Well, pickling cucumbers.
Yeah.
Asparagus, bell peppers, jalapenos, just a ton of vegetables, whole bunch. And then, so hopefully those are fermenting out in the same brine. Yeah. And then did 15 pounds of cabbage and carrots and just packed it all down. And I reserved some of the brine from the first time, which is actively fermenting in the jar.
Okay. Just to get it going.
I tossed it in, and my gosh, it just jump-started it. It went nuts.
Oh, wow.
And
so it's like a cabbage Solera project.
Yeah, kind of have a small little, I can't call it a mother, but just keep that active fermentation rolling. And
so did you do that in a plastic bucket, or do you have a barrel, or?
So, I've been reading about this for a very long time, about how to kind of do it, right? We've done it before in a small little jar, and you get a little bit at a time, and it was fun just to try it out. But then people use crocks, and if you go online, people read about old school crocks and
like clay
crocks with the water. You there's a bowl that comes with it, and you have a water seal, very similar to an airlock.
Yeah. Okay.
But at the end of the day, it's as long as it's covered with the water, right? And you can keep the vegetable below the water. You're not gonna have any problems because it just ferments out. Plus, you have that pretty low pH, fermented liquid on top of it.
Yeah.
The brine, salty brine. So what I did, I kind of did some research and then trial and error, decided that I was going to use a brining bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Like for a turkey.
Like a turkey brining bucket. And the reason why it was such a good idea, and you should do this at home, I've been telling people about this, is because if you look inside of a brining bucket, you hold the turkey down with this little cylinder.
It's like
plastic
a screw thing.
Yeah, man.
So sweet.
You have this plastic, unscratched, there's no germs or diseases on that, no bacteria rolling around. Use the same sanitation process we do when we're brewing. So, and then get it all packed in there and push that down as hard as you can and turn it just like you would to hold your turkey down.
Yeah.
And that just kind of holds all of that in place. And then top it up. If you need any liquid, top it up a little bit over. I do it a little bit over anyway, just so that there's no issues.
Sure. Yeah.
And you can have a couple floaters pop up. You just pull those off so that it's fully submerged in the water. It doesn't take long.
Yeah.
I think active fermentation takes surprisingly about 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
You're just rolling.
Yeah.
Because you're just looking at trying to catch some wilds off that salt. Because per head of cabbage, you do about 1 tablespoon of salt, so kosher salt.
Nice.
And you macerate the cabbage and your sliced cabbage, just beat it up and it starts creating its own brine.
Yeah. So you're going to bring some of that in when it's ready, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Nice.
And I use a mix of red cabbage, so I like that kind of pink color.
Yeah.
There's a lot of pepper, tons of garlic, some pickling spices, some bay leaves, just ramp up that flavor. I'm excited to see what the asparagus does in the fermentation process, and if I pick up any flavors from that in the
see if your pea smells.
See if my pea smells. Mine does, by the way. So not today.
Yeah.
Thank goodness.
Yeah.
But I have that whatever. So if you eat asparagus,
enzyme,
you can tell. Yeah.
So maybe you should collaborate with the Hoppy Dudes and make some Mathias's sauerkraut beer. I think we should.
Hoppy Dudes.
Yeah.
You heard it right here on the BlabberMalt Show.
Yeah.
I just think it's neat. So, across the board, I know I jumped off on a tangent there, but I think it's kind of cool. It's what we do as people who are the brewing mindset. I think as it grabs a hold of you and you, it's not really an entrepreneurial spirit. It's just
it's like, what else can I do if I can do this?
If I can brew beer, what else can I ferment?
Yeah.
What else can I make? So here's the crazy part. What do you think's next? So if you're brewing beer, coffee's a really very close alliteration to that. A lot of people do both. My brother did both. He got into roasting coffee, and he was a home brewer. Kind of got me rolling on the homebrew scene. A very long time ago, he started a little tiny coffee company called ARC Coffee, A-R-C, Appalachian Roots Coffee, and bought a nice little roaster and roast his own beans. And it's that craftiness that comes out of you. I ferment my own food now.
Yeah.
So what's the next step, right?
Cheese, yogurt.
Yogurt. I don't do dairy.
Yeah.
I've lost that 200 pounds, so kind of that vegan lifestyle.
Yogurt, maybe.
Yogurt's not too bad for you, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
Protein.
Bread. Sourdough.
Yeah.
Right? I am working diligently on trying to figure out how to create a starter using non-gluten-based flour.
Okay.
And get that ferment rolling.
There's got to be somebody out in there in BlabberMalt land that's done this before.
So have you used cassava flour or any other type of kind of nut flour? How does it react with just lactobacillus in the air? That's what we're trying to get after anyway, right? Is to create that process, and that's what sourdough is. So,
as long as it has something to feed on, I wouldn't think it would be a problem. Yeah.
And if you've maybe tried something different with quick fermentation, there's a right way to have a mother and to keep working that up and continue to really utilize that, and you take off your discard and you kind of keep running with the process over and over and over again. It can be a big chunk of your life if you're a big bread people. But I know there's other ways to do it.
Yeah.
There has to be, right? So there's short fermentation. Do you have to go all the way in, just like home brewing, you don't have to have a Jason Lowry setup your first time out for a beer, right?
True.
So
Yeah.
there has to be some in between, because
Yeah.
I'm making, 15 pounds of sauerkraut and fermented vegetables and eggs in a freaking turkey bucket. So
Yeah,
I
so
know there's
Lowry.
something in between, and it works really well. Again, using a big cooler like
Yeah.
you would when you're brewing,
Right.
because 15 pounds of cabbage fills up an entire humongous igloo cooler
Yeah.
to the top until you beat it up and add your salt and,
Yeah.
and press it down. Over time, it will shrink to probably a third of its size.
Yeah.
And then it all fits into, probably this much of that bucket. So I don't know, a lot of really cool things. So
Yeah, that's cool.
cool tangent
I
today,
can't wait.
right?
I can't wait to taste that.
Well, it's so good because it's a great timing for me because I just finished off my last batch this week. So I meal prep for the week, and I do about a cup of fermented sauerkraut, fermented cabbage every day
Yeah.
at my lunch, just to kind of
Is
keep things
it
moving.
like head and shoulders above store-bought stuff?
Dude?
Is it like so good?
Dude,
Yeah. Okay.
dude. You're gonna have to try it
All right. I got to.
because there's jalapenos in it. There's
Oh,
it's
yeah.
just
Yeah.
garlic. It's real. It's a real deal, man.
Yeah, it's a real deal.
It blows the top off its container every week, so you gotta
Yeah. Watch it.
gotta keep watching it. And I use that brine for lots of things. I save it. I
Yeah.
use it, the part of it this time to start my fermentation, but I also use it to ferment eggs every week. So
Okay.
I hard boil eggs and then I put them in that brine, and then
Oh yeah.
it,
I love pickled eggs.
oh man, they're so
Yeah.
good. Well, there's more fermented eggs.
Yeah.
It's not really pickled; it's fermented eggs. So you
So
have
they
that
ferment a
bright
little bit.
red
Yeah.
fermenting brine is just bubbling a little bit, right? And you just throw your eggs in there, and the eggs turn red,
Yeah.
and so it just soaks up all of the color and the
Now
fermenting.
the cabbage is red.
Cabbage is
the cabbage. Okay. Yeah.
So the brine itself is a little bit salty. There's some salinity in there, obviously, but
yeah.
hey, there he is.
Thomas, welcome to
Come
the
on in,
sauerkraut show.
Talking about sauerkraut.
It's the sauerkraut hour.
Can we bring him in? Do we listen? We're on a roll today. Do we have options for him to hop in our show?
Hell yeah, we can share the mics.
We'll share mics.
Sure.
Tommy boy, grab a chair.
So let's.
He didn't even know, so we invited Tom down because I want to talk to him about something that is
So
part of
let's-
our show today.
Let's get an update. Easter. I haven't seen you since Easter.
Dude, I
and
know,
What,
it's
what did you
crazy.
do?
So Easter was pretty low key. Kaylin came home for the day. Grab a chair over there.
Yeah, grab one of these chairs. Get you in
Scooch
here.
over too. Kaylin came home for the weekend. Can we
She's
get her
at
a glass to get him a beer?
Cleveland State. Yeah.
Cleveland State should
we
probably
got-
kill you for that.
Western Reserve.
Case Western.
Oh shit! I'm sorry. That
My
was
pocketbook
that was
says
a,
different too. So
that was a bad faux pas. Yeah.
faux pas. You need 2 glasses because you have to go get a coffee beer and then come back over, and we're gonna try a new beer tonight. We actually just went to dinner. We went out to Longhorn. We're gonna go to Mexican.
Okay. Yeah.
Even though they all said they were open, I made reservations early on just because she was home literally just for a very, very short time and didn't want to spend a lot of that time not being productive,
Okay.
And family comes over and hangs out. It's just kind of hangout time. So
Yeah.
she wanted to, have a meal and say hi to people she hasn't seen in a minute, but then just be on her own and do her thing and get ready to go back to school.
Okay.
And so we had a reservation at one of those Mexican restaurants in Avon.
Is it the
And
new one that's in the IHOP place?
I called there afterwards. We were over
Yeah.
at Fiesta Habaneros.
Okay.
And they called me the day before, and they're like, hey, I'm not really sure, it was on Saturday, who gave you a reservation for the day. But you were closed on Sunday. And you know what? I thought you might be closed, being Hispanic, and I know their owner. It's a Catholic, and so they wanted to be closed on the
Yeah.
day. So we just jumped over to Longhorn, made a reservation, and had a nice little lunch there, and went home for the day. So that's what we did for Easter. Left on the next day, took my boys down to Southern Ohio, where I'm originally from, about 35 miles southwest of Athens, or at the moment was about 10 minutes from south of Hocking Hills. So we spent the couple days hiking and hanging out with my parents. We went to Old Man's Cave. So it was pouring rain on, I believe it was Tuesday morning, just wicked pouring. We had that big storm everybody was talking about up here too, that humongous storm front that came through. And tornado warnings and all this stuff the night before. It was a lot going on. Talked about flooding and all the craziness that was happening. But we went down anyway and went out. We brought all of our wet weather gear, and I enjoy hiking in the rain. It doesn't bother me as long as you're not just super soaked. Again, fully covered in all of our wet gear. And the biggest and best point of hiking in the rain is that no one is around, for real. So we had Old Man's Cave all to ourselves. I took some trails that I had done when I was a kid, and found some other waterfalls that were off the beaten path. Just a great time. We hiked about 5 miles, and then came back and did a couple other. We did Ash Cave and Cedar Falls. By that time, people were out and about because the sun came out.
Yeah.
But just a great time. Spent the rest of the time with my mom and dad and my brother, his wife and kids, and my sister and her son. Just a nice time getting away with my boys. So really enjoyed that. That was pretty much my entire time. Really just spent with them. We talked about, again, with the conflict of timing on the podcast, maybe trying to get out to a brewery down there. Yeah. Just didn't make it. So, again, just a lot of fun. We did have a struggle getting back, and then woke up on Wednesday morning to head back, and they had closed schools down there because of the flooding. So literally every highway out, 93, 50, 160, all shut down because of flooding.
Wow.
So
it was really raining.
Really raining. Yep. So that's what I did. That's what I did for the week. What about you?
Well, we just over at my brother's Mike's. He did a ham on the smoker, and we had his son was in, and just some family hanging out. Good times. Yeah, drinking some beer.
You didn't even know you were on the show tonight.
I know.
Did not.
You got that sweet Genesis shirt on. I like that.
Woo! How about you? I know you had some. You had your kids in.
Yeah, we had the kids in from Michigan and from Chicago, so the whole family was in. Came in Thursday night. Friday, actually went up to ABC for dinner. Took the baby out there.
I saw the baby.
That's right. Yeah.
I didn't get to hold the baby or anything because he was sleeping super soundly the whole time. But absolutely 100% does not look like Tom.
He's a cutie, but yeah.
Absolutely adorable.
Yeah, had the family in, had a bunch of people over on Easter itself. Maria did a bunch of cooking. Had some great food, great Filipino food. It was just, again, we talked about it. It was just great having the family together. So again, Easter for us, there's a couple big holidays of the year where we try and get everyone together. And it's always great to be able to do that. And we were fortunate to do that.
I mean, you guys started cooking on Thursday.
Yes, we did.
Because I know that you came in to your. So Tom and Maria are Thursday evening regulars at Avon Brewing Company.
Yes, it's the
night. Creatures of habit. But the fun part is it's a beer share night, so we got a chance to hang out and say hi. Not that we always drink beer, or I do with you guys, but the idea is just to come and hang out, and we'd see each other and talk about what's going on and how's life, and a little catch up. You guys help us out with tons of events. We got to kind of schedule those things together, and where are you going to put us next, and what's happening, and where are we going to go? What's the situation? And
what can we help out with?
Yeah, and it's a wonderful thing. So you guys started on Thursday. What were you cooking on Thursday?
Well, Maria was doing her Filipino egg rolls, and then outside we just because of the house and stuff and the smell, we like to do that kind of stuff outside. And then she also made this. It's called Filipino barbecue, which is usually used on skewers and stuff. And the best way to have it is over a charcoal fire. So we've graduated to the point where the skewers are a little time-consuming and can be splinterish to just having very thin pieces of meat. I had a fire pit in the backyard that we usually use for wood burning, but I sometimes use charcoal. I have a grill that I put over that. So we're out there on a Thursday afternoon grilling outside, getting stuff ready for Easter. I mean, it was a multiple-day cooking event that was all I really contributed. Maria did all the rest. God bless her. But
So I got to tell something funny. I don't think that our Blabbermaltsters know this at all about your family and myself. So I had the privilege of officiating the wedding of Tom's son and now daughter-in-law, and it was a blessing to me to do that. You guys came and asked me to do that. It was just a wonderful experience, and part of the meal for the day was traditional Filipino food.
Yes, we did a roast pig.
Yeah,
with some special sauce that's kind of used in the Filipino community and stuff. Yeah, it was a roast. We had a pig roast.
So great. So great. Awesome. And the day was perfect. I mean, talk about kind of some of the craziness. So the wedding was going to be outside at Tom's over in the kind of the wedding venue area. We had it all set up.
Country Place, not Tom's house.
Not your house. Tom's Country Place here in Avon.
The other Tom.
Yep. And we had it all set up the night before, had rehearsal. It was a nice evening. And then we went to the rehearsal dinner was nice. And then the next day, what happened, Tom?
Just about an hour before, the clouds started coming in. We knew there was a chance of rain. You always hope it's not going to happen, but it did. And
the skies opened up, brother. It just came down, right?
And what you learn to do in life is you pivot.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a nice canopy there over the entranceway. We set up all the chairs there, moved the archway that my son actually had made.
Yep.
And Mathias officiated over the wedding underneath there, which it turns out was the first time they'd ever done a wedding under that canopy.
And it was so cool.
It was.
And it worked, right?
Because it was close and super intimate. And it was raining behind us. And it was, honestly, it was wonderful.
It was. It was a great time. It was a beautiful ceremony and a nice reception.
Yeah. And we were friendly. We were friendly before that, right? Would you say?
Well, you're always friendly with me.
Easy now. Hey now.
Hey. This is easy there. That's not the dog behind the table. I am friendly with you. They but I think after that they kind of like turned the corner for us as a as dudes.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I appreciate the offer, and it was a fun experience. So that's our connection, and
one of many,
and we made him come down tonight. He came down to say hi. I want him to try this beer, and I have a big question for you. I'm gonna put you on the spot tonight. And so when you walk down the stairs, I'm like, get your rear end on this show, right?
Oh yeah, I know it's coming.
Here we go. So we talked about not having a guest tonight, but
yes.
We do.
It's Thomas.
He's
Thomas. Here. We're going to grill him.
So
can we talk about the eclipse for a second?
Yes, let's do it.
You saw it, right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, I wasn't expecting much. We were at my brother's house, and my cousins were in from Tennessee, Pittsburgh. Nephew Brandon was over. And I'm like, yeah, it's going to get dark. And then it's going to get light. Big deal. But wow, was that something? The colors, I mean, it got dark from a different angle. It's not from the horizon. And you can see dawn like 365 degrees around you. So crazy. What'd you guys think? What struck you about it?
I mean, it was amazing. I mean, to watch it kind of happen, and then when you got to totality, it was so cool I was out taking pictures with my camera, and
you're at home here.
Yeah, I was home here. We had set up and had some beers that were Eclipse themed to go with it.
To go from light to dark, dark to light.
One of them was from you. Yep.
Yes.
And to me, the thing that was amazing was when it got dark.
Yeah.
To be able to not. I took the lens off the camera. I was able to take pictures straight like that. They turned out beautifully. And then the fact that when a sliver of it, so after that 3 minutes and 50 seconds, the 3 minute 54th second, just a sliver of sun came out, all of a sudden it was bright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that much sunlight could change the way things look was, to me, something I never would have thought. I would have thought it would gradually getting lighter, but it didn't. It just automatically awoke.
Yeah. And the colors were so weird and so different. And we're very fortunate to have a clear day.
That's what I was surprised about. I mean, I was assuming we'd be lucky to see anything. Being an Indians opener,
it's always terrible weather, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we have what,
snowing,
270 odd days of partly cloudy.
Yeah,
in Northeast Ohio,
yeah,
Cleveland area. So that's, I mean, to get a day like yesterday, 70 degrees, barely a cloud in the sky.
It's gorgeous.
It was gorgeous, and I got to say,
that's why I wore my cousin's
Cousineau
shirt.
I got to, I mean, as a business owner and someone that was trying to kind of just understand what was happening in the business world, I have been a vocal proponent of the fact that we were not going to be busy in this area. I just didn't see it, right? I mean, you look at, especially the west side of Cleveland and Avon specifically. So Avon Lake were considered to be kind of the epicenter of the line of totality in our area.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Avon Lake had some people there. I think they said they had 2,500 or 3,000 people at the stadium, which was their big kind of push through at the football stadium. But they also told everybody not to work and not to go out. And so, honestly, Monday was
so everybody stayed away.
Totally like COVID. Nobody was out anywhere. I drove around, back and forth from Lorain, and I was there in record time. There's nobody on the highway. There's nobody around. But you think about it. Look at Avon in general. Where we have 2 hotels, and they're suites, and they only hold like maybe 20 some rooms. And so,
unless you brought a camper,
where are you going to go?
Yeah.
Elyria has a few hotels, a couple shady ones. Sheffield, I don't think they don't have anybody, right? Lorain has the one. So where else are you going to go on this side of town that would have mass amounts of places for people to stay unless you're driving in for the event? People did drive in from the Michigan side, though, and kind of hang out more on that western front of the totality.
Yeah.
My parents spent the day in Auglaize County, and it was busy. They had straight line totality.
Yeah.
And so coming back over to Michigan was busy, but everywhere else was pretty. My friends made it home from up here fairly fast. There's no major issues headed out of town. So, but thinking about that and having events and everybody doing their events, and I called Railroad up and I'm like, hey, what's going on with you guys? Have you got a lot of people sign up for your event? He's like, not really. We're going to promote some stuff to come down today. And that's what we're talking about. If anybody in town, like you guys, right, who may have come to where we were having our pop-up, decided to stay home, which is a great idea. There's no reason not to, right? If you can see it from your house, you can line on totality. So we're all fighting for the same people who may actually go out who are local.
I saw Dan Maines was there.
Dan was there.
Dan,
right?
What's up?
So Dan was there. We had a bunch of other people there too. We had about between 65 and 80 people back and forth through the event, which is a pretty good event for us. Yeah, the patio was packed. Lots of people were out there. We did have people who came who had never been around before. They drove up specifically to find the epicenter. So how it moved from Avon Lake a little bit west, took them right to the shipyards.
Okay.
No idea where they were at.
Yeah.
Right. So literally the shipyards and or the Black River landings got packed because people were driving, trying to find the number one spot of totality, and it was right there. So you could be at the shipyards or even over at the Black River landings. It was like dead center of the longest point of time. I think we had a smidge over 4 minutes. It was pretty epic.
So yeah, they were chasing it, huh?
Chasing it, right?
Yeah.
And there were families that drove up from North Carolina. I think one got interviewed. But again, just thinking about that up to that point was event, who's coming, not coming, kind of just being a little bit jaded about the process until the event, right? We've all seen an eclipse before. Even the ones with the glasses, you can see it kind of go partially over. You've seen that. But when it hit totality
is something
and it went black, and all of the seagulls, because there's tons of them in the rain, all stopped and went down to the ground. We turned off the music and everybody just sat in pure silence.
That's crazy.
Like 80 people just quiet. And everything was quiet. It was pitch black. You could see the stars and the planets. And man, it was like a religious experience. It was really, really neat. And my boys were there. It was awesome. And everybody that was there with us had one of those moments like those core memories.
You're like, whoa.
And then when it came back up, you just looked at each other like, we just had a moment. Everybody there had a moment together because you just experienced something that was totally surreal, and epic at the same time, all together. So,
did we just cross over? Are we dead? Where are we?
It was wonderful.
What just happened?
Yeah, I mean, the cosmic connection in our universe is really, really wonderful.
Yeah.
And the power of that and what that does for your personhood is a big deal. And so, diving into that is pretty cool.
I mean, it was something amazing to see, and again, probably for me, it could be once in a lifetime to see a totality. Unless we become we were just joking, are we going to become chasers now of the solar eclipse?
Going to chase it around the planet,
dude. Might be.
I mean, there's probably a lot of breweries in different states that we could go
might
visit.
be
or countries.
Might be.
Countries.
I'm not kidding. It was.
But it was something very. I mean, I was not. It's gonna be kind of cool. You want to be there and do it, but it was something very unique, and we were very blessed with the weather. Though to me, that's still the fact that it was.
Yeah, I can't believe it was
like
clear.
Yep.
Can't believe it.
That made it 100 times better than it could have been.
Yeah.
And it was still something very amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I would chase it. I would. After yesterday, I would.
Yeah.
If it came up like that and we were somewhere where you could get to and it wasn't so crazy, I'd go with you somewhere. It was really that neat.
There's some more coming
I mean,
up
it
in
was
the States
it was really neat.
10 years.
So I think that it was a cool experience. So I would do that.
All right, we got to roll, man.
Look how
roll.
See, we were talking about not having enough time today, but I said we're going to talk about BS. So let's roll.
Yeah.
It's time for the Vorloff.
All right. We said we had no guest, but we do have a guest. It's Tom.
Whoop whoop.
And now we got to get into this beer. Let's do it.
Can we get a rinse?
What do you want to?
This is important while we have a rinse, though. I'm gonna do a snifter.
Do a full?
Chuggy chug, buddy. Let's go.
We need some snifters. I could use a taster.
Rinse, or do you want a new one?
Grab new ones. Be easier.
If you have them. So here's why I wanted to do that. Typically, I'm not much of a snob like that. This is a big deal. So we wanted to release this tonight. This is also I wanted you down here. This is 2 reasons. One, you're not allowed to rate this tonight as a 1.25 because it's a trial. Oh, I knew it was coming. It just happens.
I've been framed.
You've been framed. Oh, look at this little goblet. Do you have something to drink out of? A pint glass? Here you go. Here's a pint. This is a beer. So we're starting to move into Lorraine, we're trying to figure out what that looks like and how to best create some core brands across the board. This beer, and we're going to pull it up in a second. I brought the beer sheets to talk through, the brew sheets. And here you go. This is an American Pale Ale. And this is a pale ale that we want to I start the process of putting into our core lineup, whether it be, canned or kind of a core thing.
Thanks,
so
sir.
What we want to do is that, we'll show you the brew sheets.
You want to see that now?
Oh my gosh, we'll talk about it. And guys, we're going to name it on this show. So we're going to have a naming contest, and I want you to name this beer. So it's called Lorraine Pale on the brew sheet because we don't have a name for it yet. It's a West Coast pale ale, but really it's more of that Midwestern style. We mash a little higher, and so it's not an old school West Coast. It's not a hazy, so it's kind of just an American version or a Midwest pale. Let's talk about it. So let's get into it. Let's have a little sip and a little waft.
Cheers.
Cheers. Let's see. Oh, bro.
That smells a little dank. A little bit dank. I like it.
Yeah, Pete kegged it out today. Man. So let's look at the brew sheet while we.
So the ABV is like 6.5.
6.6.
6.6.
6.6.
Couldn't make it 6.66.
Listen.
It's
going to fluctuate a little bit. This is a 6.66. No, this is not the Devil's Cut. That's not a bad name, though. So, as you can see, target gravity, it finished a little low. We used, you can see all of the additions we used for our salts, our strike temp, 153. We dode in at 154. You see the mash pH, etc. We kind of shot for 330 pounds of pills, a little bit of dextrin, acidulated, and a touch of Munich.
Do you always add acidulated just to bring the
do
pH
on
down?
we do on the big system. It kind of makes a big deal, especially on the PKW.
Yeah.
Just it's nice to have that.
You use any acid after
do.
that? Yeah.
After we try to do our water pretty heavy, so
Yeah.
we kind of get our water set up to know what's going to do. We brewed just on this with peat 143 batches, so kind of dialing that in,
Yeah.
making sure our water is at the right pH. So really the maltiness of the body is not overwhelming, right?
But you can taste. I mean, I guess when you mentioned the Munich, there's a little maltiness.
On purpose, right? So you get a smidge,
You
just a
mentioned
touch.
the dank. It starts a little bit with that danky hop, but
That
it
smell.
stops.
Yeah.
And it changes.
It's
lot.
not bitter to an IPA level,
No.
but it is it's almost bordering on the lightness of an IPA. From
Mhm.
it's on the lighter side of the pale ale mouthfeel.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, and maybe because it finished a little bit lower than most of what it's expected. I wanted to have been at 5.8 was the target.
Okay.
So we're a little bit below that.
Yeah.
But look at the hops. You can see the hops, the timing of those for the IBUs. We didn't really crush it too much. We have a 60-minute addition of Citra,
What was your strike temperature? Just to
53.
53.
Yeah. We're shooting for,
Yeah.
And for us, 154 is usually typically a good body.
Yeah.
There's some body there.
There is.
It does finish a little bit dry, but there still is that kind of residual,
There's a creaminess to it, actually.
which you're going to get from that temperature. Again, kind of based on that Citra mosaic, kind of heavy focused American pale ale style, right? Just across the board, and that's what I wanted, right? That you mentioned dankness, right? That is Citra mosaic.
Yeah, for sure.
That is that combo. That it's unmistakable. That smell is exactly what we were after.
So when does this come on?
Dude, I don't know. We haven't named it yet. So
Okay. Well, that's what we need from you guys. We need a name.
need a name.
So we got Citra, we got Mosaic. Are you going to? Is this going to be a Lorraine
Yeah,
brewery centric beer?
that's a great question. This is going to be brewed in Lorraine, for Lorraine, and then brewed on the big system. So it could have a Lorraine name. I really want you to be totally all in with this. So it doesn't matter to me what you do.
Okay.
You can be Lorraine based. It could be just a beer name across the board.
Keep it clean, people. I know you guys.
We're a family brewery.
This is a family-friendly show, and it's a family-friendly
It
brewery.
doesn't taste moist to me. So.
It's not a moist beer.
Oh, and mark that.
Market moist. So when looking at that, right? So what do we want? Really, just be creative. I suggest maybe you go on to Untapped, UNTAPPD, Tom's favorite app, and maybe look up some names that weren't there. So we don't want to just hammer us with double up names, but
Maybe 1.25 pale ale.
ooh, maybe, or the BlabberMalt Pale. But
Submit some names, and we'll collect them. I don't know. Maybe we'll have a vote, put up a poll.
and we'll invite people out to have a try. Yeah, we'll do that.
Yeah.
Are there some names coming up right now?
Oh,
Well, let's see.
let me check it out.
But look, I mean, so tasting notes, right? So Tom said
We have
a little dank on the nose.
Paul Pelton says if it's Lorraine, we have to commemorate Lorraine's industrial background, which is true.
You're not wrong, Paul.
Steel Panther.
Oh,
my God.
I don't hate it. I don't
hate it.
Lorraine for the Steel Town.
Oh, Tommy.
Oh, Tom, you might have just named it. Damn it.
The Steel Panther. Can we get in trouble for that, though, since that's,
We'll spell it different somehow. Yeah.
Steele.
Yeah.
That's Amherst.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about to help people out with the beer. So we're
Death to
tasting
all
notes.
but pale ale.
Death to all. Dank nose.
Yeah.
Kind of weedy.
But it's not the prominent flavor, though.
It is not. The Citra really comes. I mean, Mosaic too. I mean, people hit Mosaic a lot for that dankiness, but in reality, there's a nice little fruitiness that comes from that. I wouldn't say it's fruity at all.
I'd say you're fruity. Showing.
See, I'm not getting fruit as much.
You
as
get two boings in one show.
Boing. I'm saying it's not fruity at all.
I'm getting the creaminess. No. It is dry. It's a creamy dry, which is almost like a Pilsner finish.
Yep.
But I really like the body. The body's very nice at the end. I mean, it
is.
Tastes a little bit thicker than a
solid.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, help us name this beer. It's a 6.6 currently today. Shoot, think about that, Dave. Who calls a pale ale 6.6%? That used to be old school. That's IPA. That's IPA range.
Yeah.
We're going to dial it back down. Peter, we're going to dial it back down. We're going to be 5.5, 5.8 at the most for a pale. But concept's still the same flavor profile. But I need a name for a pale ale in Lorraine. So whatever it is, make sure at the end it kind of goes with pale ale, right? So it's not just some crazy name, but...
Yeah, so comment on this thread or email us. However, we see it all and we'll curate them.
How do they email you?
Wow, blabbermalt@gmail.com.
That's my line.
Oh, sorry.
I love it. No, not me. I'm the one that says, "How do they email us, Dave?"
Oh, don't make me
Tom.
I'm redundant now.
Wow. So there you go. That's what we're doing. I think it's really good.
Yeah, agreed. So while we're talking about Lorraine Brewing Company, let's talk about how the renovations are coming.
Yeah.
What's the process? I mean, tell us about that.
Yeah, and we'll talk about it later. I think we're going to be down there next week for our show.
Are we?
Yeah,
excellent.
I believe so, right? So 416, at LBC on a site visit. Oh, that was a nice little write down.
That's a John Stewart.
Oh, perfect. I'm in. Kind of show you some progress. The kitchen, outdoor kitchen, is about ready to be totally enclosed.
Nice.
We'll see what happens with the rain this week if we're ready to go by next week. But the old kitchen is gutted, and we're ready to kind of make some decisions on where to put tanks. And then when that happens, we have to kind of figure out where to put stuff. Looking at keeping the catwalk above so we can maybe grain in above and drop down below and just kind of keep a cool little space.
Oh, that's cool. How we store grain up there or
some? Yeah,
conveyor?
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll put some up there for the short term. I think the long term plan would be to have either super sacks somewhere or a silo for our base malt, which is Pilsner.
Nice.
So that's the intention, right, and how that plays through the process. But down below, we'll have a 5-barrel, we'll have a 15-barrel. We're trying to figure out how to get some of our more brights down there. I'm meeting with BJ Solomon from Ironheart Canning tomorrow in the afternoon as we kind of lay out some spaces. Because we'll have the brew house down below. Up on the atrium level, we're going to have our fermenters and currently our brights. But is it worthwhile to take the bright beer down cold, glycol lines, without losing temperature at 33 to can? Or are we looking at having to have some brights downstairs to can out of? So, minimizing transferring, minimizing DO, oxygen, dissolved oxygen, minimizing travel time and loss of the beer back and forth so we can...
But you're trying to maximize the space too, so if you can put it
so we got to figure it out, right? So it's just one of those things where I'm bringing them in tomorrow. We're going to talk about the space and what his requirements are, and because we're going to partner together and we're going to keep a mobile canning line there.
Okay.
So that we don't have to have our first investment and or our own people to can. We can just have them come and can, and they can use their resources and kind of just feel out that first time and see how it plays out and works.
Well, just tell Pete you're going to get that old Maheen from Brew Kettle and put that in, and he's going to love it.
We are not getting that old Maheen from Brew Kettle. They've been talking about that for a very long time.
He hates that thing. So does everybody.
I
that's
have
ever
walked
worked on
into
it.
that place and seen them with a crescent wrench just whacking on that thing. Just work, you son of a,
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's bottles.
Hey, don't do that.
Have fun.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah.
I get it. But yeah, that's where we're at with LBC. We're moving along.
when are we thinking? Are you going to open before the brewery's installed there?
So we're going to open as soon as the kitchen's ready.
Okay.
At the end of the day, the plan is
So we're
to
talking
have.
this summer.
So we are scheduled to have the hoods installed on May 1st. I know we're pushing time, but everybody's, even today, we had a big meeting down there and everybody's on the same page. So if we get the hoods installed on May 1st, that gets us open potentially Memorial Day weekend,
Okay.
which would be epic for us. That's our plan, right? Memorial Day weekend. So take advantage of the boats and the kickoff of the summer. I think the week after that is the first Rock on the River. So
you
you got to be ready for that.
Yeah.
That's our bread and butter down at LBC. So
Mathias,
everything else is done, man.
are you nervous?
Am I nervous?
Are you nervous? Are you
Nah,
worried?
bro. No, here's the crazy thing.
I got a crock of sauerkraut coming on. I'm not nervous about nothing.
No, I can't gamble. I can't even do $1. That makes me nervous, right?
Yeah.
But I trust what we do. I trust my brother-in-law. I trust myself, and I trust the process and myself. Really, like my confidence in what we can do is pretty high. So
Yeah, that's good.
I don't stress about it. We make really considered decisions along the way, and we work through the process, and we get to a decision. We say we're all in, let's go, and it's go time. So,
and it seems like all the contractors are online. And the city is on board, and things
the city's on board.
Yeah,
Contractors going to contract, and it's crazy.
yeah.
That's why I'm not a GC.
A beast of their own.
I don't have any headspace for that. So no headspace for being in construction. Those guys are crazy.
Yeah.
We have a great builder. Jerry Kilby is a wonderful man and has helped us out tremendously. He is just a good salt of the earth person. So we're lucky with having Kilby be our GC on the project. So proud about that. Proud about 6mo. I want to have 6mo on the show. We'll show you some pictures next week or the week after of some renderings they made for us. 6mo is our architect firm that works with us. They're local to the Westlake area. They done all of our spaces. They did sibling. They're just really great people. So if you're in the need at all for any architectural drawings, hit me up. Email us. I will give you Patrick Thornton's email address at 6mo, and they do a fantastic job at a wonderful price, and they are top freaking notch people.
So you heard it, BlabberMaltsters, Memorial Day.
Memorial Day, let's go.
Lorraine Brewing Company.
Bring your boat down. I'm going to bring beer listen, if we're not open, we're having beer there anyway.
For sure.
I'm saying it right now.
All right.
It's time for
All right, we got to get into some homebrew happenings, man. We're going to run through this.
Heck yeah.
I
I want to know about your brew house. We keep pushing this off, but
I've got a lot
let's
done.
do it. Let's go.
Let me get back over here.
We have pictures, I heard.
We do.
Yeah, boy. I mean, I've seen it, but you haven't seen it. You haven't seen it either, have you?
I've not seen it.
He's keeping the dark.
So this is, we talked about this before. This is the hot liquor tank.
Mm-hmm.
So the stainless steel coils on inside that will be where the wort goes to get heated up to go back in the mash tun. I don't know if the guys can see the cursor here, but down here, the squiggly thing is the heating element. And what's in this vessel is just going to be water for sparge and mashing in. So that is that. We got that. I just have to test these connections for leaks because they're just compression fittings, so they might leak a little bit. We might have to tighten them up.
No, I love this.
This was the last connection I had to make that I was waiting for that 9/16 punch to come in, and it was delayed and delayed and delayed. Finally came in, punched this for the temperature probe on the boil kettle.
Nice.
And that the connection behind this box is for the heating element in there. The other end of this connection, the probe connection, is the same connections we use for microphones in our podcast.
It is, isn't it?
It's crazy. It fits exactly. Yeah. So this is just the
Your shelving.
put some metal pegboard up for storing some stuff, and I'm just kind of. I put the shelves there. I don't know if they'll stay there, but we'll see. This is kind of the first rendition of the janky vent hood I hooked up here, and I have these chains going to one anchor point on the shelf. I had to cut these shelves off. It was too spinny. This thing is too spinny, so I had to come up with this. And
look at that.
4 different points so it holds it square. Because on the front of this bucket, I want to put brewery stickers, and I don't want it necessarily spin. I want the Avon Brewing Company one. The front and center.
OG before it's bye-bye.
Yeah.
That's nice, though, right? So you got to keep all that steam moving somewhere.
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I'm gonna put the takeoff for the 6-inch vent either on the top or on the back. The back might be better to keep. Is
this a vote?
Could be a vote. I don't know. I mean, on top, I think it might drip down a little bit. So I think the side would be a little less chance of that happening. At a small
angle, maybe?
Yeah.
Down.
Are you venting this out of the garage then, or no?
What's that?
Is it going to be vented out?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'll be able to smell your brew days down the street? All right.
Yeah, so this is the... I put a Vortex fan up in the attic, and that was a project because I have a ladder that's just tall enough for me to get up there. I have to kind of hop up in there. Yeah, I'm going to kill myself. So I'm going to plug it into this light, which is switched down below. Yep. So I'll just turn that on and vent that out. So I have to, the one thing I have to do left is plumb this in with 6-inch vent pipe. This is the sink. Jay came over.
It's getting close.
J-Bone came over.
Yeah, J-Bone.
He had, one line run in the vent or the drain. And there it is, all done.
Nice. Look at that.
We do have a leak in the cold side. So we had when they ship this sink, it comes with the faucet, but it doesn't come with the hardware behind to mount it.
Correct.
Because you might mount it straight into the wall. You might go 90 down the wall. So you got to buy that separate. So we went to Home Depot and bought some stuff we thought would work. Street elbow. Those are NPT pipe threads where the faucet is like a straight non-angled thread. So unless you put a shit ton of Teflon tape, it's going to leak. So we have a leak. We'll fix it. Don't worry. And then these are these sexy pumps. They just came in. As you can see, I have one sitting in front of us here, but
big time.
You can kind of see it better on this pic. Well, I'll go back to the main show. Yeah, it's got the tri-clamp. See, so the pump head and the magnet are out front. You just take it off and clean it. So
nice, which is important.
Yeah, it's super. It's
cleaning
super
those things any other way is just impossible.
Yeah, I mean the March pumps have like 5 screws you have to take off, and it's every time. Yeah,
nice little setup.
I think that's all the. Yeah, that was all the.
Yeah, man.
So the only things I really have left to do is I have to run the ductwork to the fan, and a couple little other things. I have to mount the filter, and I have to Teflon tape all the connections for the ends of the hoses. I took all the old runs from my old setup, the silicone hoses, and kind of, Frankensteined them into the new system in the new way. And I have enough, except I need one female threaded male tri-clamp fitting, and that'll be it, and I'll be all set.
You heard that right. That's it.
So, but I came upon this other thought appeared in my head.
Beer, let's go. I can't wait.
I still have the 3-tier Blickman propane system. I have 2 extra pots. I could have another setup in Marblehead and brew beer up there.
Dude, she's going to punch in the face.
I could.
She's going to punch in the face.
Yeah, okay. Let's get this one running first.
I love you. I promise. It's not my fault. I didn't say anything. Oh, my gosh.
So dude, I don't know. couple weeks we could get some ingredients and brew some beer.
I'm
I
in.
think. Yeah.
I cannot wait. You're gonna come for a brew day?
You need like 2 more
Heck yeah.
locations. You'll be almost as much as ABC.
Oh, you don't want to do that. That's insane. That's mental note there.
Yep.
Speaking of ABC,
Yes.
I talked about this pale ale. I want you guys to name. We're also working on doing another Midwest IPA
Good.
and an old school West Coast IPA. So
Okay.
getting old school again, kind of going clear this spring. We're gonna hit back in the hazies again, but just kind of taking a break on those and kind of just dialing in some clear beer. And we've been doing the Mango Habanero Pale Ale or Manganero for quite a long time, and people have been really excited about that. We sell out of it almost immediately. We're going to do a West Coast style blackberry habanero pale.
Ooh.
So kind of changing it up a little bit. So it won't be hazy, but it'll be blackberry habanero in a West Coast style. So that's coming up in ABC. Again, LBC are those couple beers we're looking at. I'm really looking forward to having this contest for the name. It's hard to do that all the time, so we want to get you guys out there and get you involved in the process. ZZ's, just continue to roll. Music on Fridays and Saturdays. All of our beers are there on a regular basis. We had our cornhole boards out yesterday, and just
Nice.
utilize that green space while you can here in Avon. Not many places have that type of beer garden here in town, so
True.
let's utilize that. Get out for that. Medina had a really cool event this past week. We've expanded our patio to both sides now, and really just picking it up. They had the Passport started on April 1st. Tom and I were there to kind of kick off that party. So the Medina Passport's going strong. Get out to one of the 8 breweries in Medina. Grab your passport booklet. Get them stamped. 2 visits per brewery from now until June, and then you get a chance to come out to the Passport party. So that's
Perfect.
kind of what's happening in our neck of the woods.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Heck yeah. We do have I'll do that because it was my connection with him to get that every week. But the Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News. Rob's not feeling well today, but I did want to say a couple things. Speaking of Medina, they're giving away 2 tickets to the Medina Beer Fest, which is coming up here at the end of the month. I think it's the 26th.
26th, 27th. Well, that's Saturday.
That's Saturday. Let's
Saturday.
look it up for me.
Yep.
He's my my timekeeper. I promise you, he's my calendar.
27th.
27th. So 27th in Medina. Go to their Facebook page, Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News, and look to the pinned Facebook post, and that's going to tell you how to do that. Don't respond to people's emails. There's a ton of people online that are just throwing stuff out there. They will not tell you if you won or ask you for information. Follow the link on the pinned Facebook post to be entered into 2 free tickets to what I consider to be a really fun brewfest.
Yes, and they moved the location this year to the fairgrounds.
Yes.
Which is going to be, I think, nice. Ample parking. You're not have to worry about shuttles or anything. Bathrooms will be a little bit better than going into the porta potties that they had at the other place.
Yeah.
That's true. Even inside.
Yeah, but it's going to be really a lot of great breweries there, food, different Medina places are going to be there as well with their things. It's a really big Medina community event for the.
So it's not just the Medina County breweries that are there. It's a legit brew fest. So we're talking about just like you go anywhere else, the big dogs come out. And so there's going to be a lot of breweries there. I'm sure they've started posting them online.
Yep.
A lot of food trucks are out there. It's just a nice event. Are you guys you going this year?
Yeah, we'll be there.
Heck yeah, man.
We'll be there.
That's right. We did talk about that. It's on the calendar. You were usually come and hang out and work some of those events with us. And I think it's one of the good events. It's a nice event.
It's very nice.
Heck
And
yeah.
there is a VIP for that one as well, I believe.
Yes. And so
are
we have
interested in that.
we have to be in the VIP. So Medina takes that stuff very seriously, not just the passport, but also the beer fest. It's going to be a very specific beer brewed for that event. So that's the case. They want that to be part of the process. So
That's a VIP only.
the VIP only, yeah. Join it. Find it online. Medina Beer Fest, put on by the city, and it's just a really cool event.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
Sounds great.
And then follow, like, and share the NEOCBN, Northeast Ohio Craft Brewery News. They put out all the news for everything that's going on in the world. They have a big week coming up. I believe that Rob said coming off his sickness. There's a lot of really cool news that's going to be coming on pretty soon in the world of breweries, including something from us. What?
What?
Nice.
And it's not Lorraine.
What?
No, I know.
Yeah, not yet.
Not yet.
Shh.
It's
Keep
coming
it quiet.
along.
Hey, man, let's get into some music news. How about
Let's do
that?
it.
Some brewery or some music events. So
Please say it.
the only reason I picked this band is because of the name. Grog Shop, April 12th. Mannequin Pussy. Yes. They're like a
Oh my goodness.
punk metal
Mhm.
kind of pop metal band. They sound pretty good. Anyway, Mannequin Pussy. Just wanted to say it again. 13th, Satriani and Vi. Joe Satriani and Steve Vi at MGM Northfield Park.
Nice.
And both of those guys were just on the Monsters of Rock cruise and ripped it a new one. So 17th of this month, we have Queensryche at House of Blues. And this is the Todd LaTorre version. This is not Jeff Tate. The 18th at House of Blues is Thy Art Is Murder. Very good deathcore band, metalcore, deathcore. And then, of course, May 16th through the 19th at the Crew Stadium in Columbus is Sonic Temple. You have to, bring that up. Still undecided if I'm going. Incarceration, July 19th through the 21st at the Mansfield Reformatory. Another one. Love to go to, but, man, multi-day events. Festivals they're a lot, man. They're a lot for an old guy like me.
Especially when you're in the mosh pit.
Well, yeah, I go on the edge of the mosh pit. I'm not in the...
Not in the dead center anymore?
I don't. No,
You can
can't
tell
do
that I have not been a part of any of these music sendings off for anybody because we have not put any country or anything fun on there recently. So
No, yeah.
I got to get my act together, people. I'm sorry. I'll hook you up.
I don't know the names,
It's my fault.
Yeah. It's,
Totally my fault.
But you're down for Mannequin Pussy, right?
Who isn't?
Yeah.
The band, Ding Dongs. Don't laugh like that, Tommy.
Oh, man.
Hey, speaking of blabbermalt@gmail.com, people can email us questions all the time. Email us for beer names as well. We got a couple questions this week.
We did, actually. Dustin Yantz asked us, what's going on with the Lorraine Brewery passport? That was kind of floated, and...
Tom knows why he's here now. So we were in Medina, and it was my idea to bring a passport to Medina. And I sat down with Chris Zaffel, who we talked about on one of our highest viewed shows, Tommy, and really just expounded upon how that started and what we're going to do in the future. And we need someone like that. So to answer your question, last month we had an event at our Shipyards location. Brian catered it, and all of the Lorraine County breweries were there to do a roundtable discussion on economic development and breweries and how we kind of help to lift up local communities and be that center hub for events, both life, death, weddings, you name it, right? We want to be that social circle for everybody. And out of that came a big conversation again. Okay, we got together this time. We're going to do this passport here in Lorraine County, but we need somebody who is, my calendar, somebody who is excited about craft beer, someone who is really put together and can be a voice and really likes to just hammer down details. And if that doesn't describe you, Tom, I don't know what does. And so I brought this up to you before. I'll put you on the spot here on live podcasting. Dude, we're going to do this, right? You're going to help me out?
I will help you out.
Dude, you heard it right here.
Yes.
So there's your answer to your question. You're going to be Chris Zaffel of Lorraine County. You're going to be Tom Vamas Percy. The man's going to help us out by getting a Lorraine County passport started. I've done it twice now. I can help you out. We're good, right? We'll get Chris on the horn, but we're going to do this. I'm I love you, dude. You're the right person for this job. There's no doubt about it. You love beer. You love people. You love helping out every single brewery in the area.
I mean, promoting the community, promoting the beer community, especially in Lorraine, my home county. I mean, it is a big deal. It is important. I mean, I'm doing the Cleveland Passport.
Yep.
We do the Medina one. I've done the Summit one. I think it's a great way for people to get exposed to different beers, different places to travel around. Which I mean, I'm a person who likes to travel around, so I like exploring things and new things. So I think it's great for the county, for the breweries that have come now to a critical mass. I mean, I think Lorain County right now is certainly at that point where
9, almost 10
and
breweries.
Can we call him the chairman of the board? Or what? It's going to be ringleader? Grandmaster?
Email us some names for Tommy.
King shit of F Mountain?
Dude, I'm so happy. And you knew this was coming, but it's just one of those things where we had a question tonight. Sorry, Maria, but I think she's all in on this too. She loves it. It's kind of what you guys do. It's just a fun experience. I'm looking forward to it. The Lorain County Brewery Passport is on its way. We're going to make it happen. Right, buddy?
yes.
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 Not a yeah.
What
That was a definite yes.
could you imagine me saying no on a live podcast?
No.
That's why
you
we
always say
cornered you.
no, right? It's so much better to say yes.
Yeah, I can always back out later.
You can,
Yeah.
but I appreciate you, and we'll harangue Dave to help out a little bit too. But it's a really cool thing.
Yeah, I mean, again, not knowing exactly how much is involved, but again, the concept of it is, and I certainly feel that it's something that Lorraine's ready for, and it should be fun.
Can't wait.
Lorain Breweries, get your ish together. We're coming around, and in 2025, we're gonna have a brewery passport.
Sounds good.
All in.
Can't wait.
Let's do it.
Yep.
I'm excited. I really am. And then we're going to finish off with and this is why it's cool, right? So we have the venue at Lorain Brewing Company Event Center to have the party
The end of the
for those who finish the passport. We'll have a little brew fest there for those people, and we'll just have a great time. There'll be food involved, and it's going to be wonderful.
and some beer probably too.
Well, yeah, it's a brew fest.
Yeah, maybe a beer or two.
Or 3.
Who knows?
A couple from each one.
Yeah.
A lot of fun. So look forward to that. So we're going to roll with it. Let's keep doing it. Yeah, man. Yes, I'm
Cool.
excited.
Yes.
You heard it here. This is a big deal.
I'm waiting for my phone to start.
It's not buzzing. She's not watching.
From
So
radio. She must not be.
Yeah.
we had
I'm
some,
gonna text
before
her.
we end up, let's see what we have here. So we had some people talking. Dan said I was at the Lorain Brewing Company event and it was fantastic. Mathias was pumped. I was pumped.
We
had
got a
people
couple.
tours.
We got a couple beer name submissions already.
Steeltown Ale.
Yeah.
That's a good one. One of our BlabberMaltsters, Janine, she said it should be called a Fair Winds Pale Ale.
I like it.
I like it. Right? So some good suggestions going on. We have NEOCB clapping in with some stuff about the eclipse. It definitely was an experience for sure, Rob. It was a spiritual experience. Couldn't agree more. Good. I answered most of the questions on here today. So that's good. Thanks for getting on here and sending us some comments. We love them.
Yeah.
So we're here.
It's great. So we're going to mark those down. Everybody continue to comment, put some names in.
Heck yeah.
Email us questions, blabbermalt@gmail.com. And let's grain out.
It's time to grain out. Grain out.
So we got a couple things planned coming up. Next week, we're going to be at the site for the future Lorain Brewing Company.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a tour.
Just give a little tour, check it out. I want to see
It's
where
not
the
a little
tanks
tour.
are going to be.
Heck yeah, man.
See where the kitchen is and
So you
the
all
event
the
space.
spaces. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's going to be good. Following week, we'll be back here at Radon. Yet to be determined guest, but we got
Probably
some,
Tommy.
Yeah. And then the 30th,
I'm excited about this.
we'll be at Jolly Scholar with Jessica Imes. They're
Yeah.
a new brewer out there. She's got a few of her beers on now, so we're going to taste those and get a tour of the space.
Yep.
And, yeah, going to be fun.
Which space will it be? Their downtown one or the one in North?
At the college, I think, right?
At the college.
At the college.
Yeah.
Oh,
Kaylin, you heard it. We're coming to your school, babe.
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Get her out there.
Get her out there and check it out.
Yeah.
It'll be a
Sounds
fun
good.
evening.
Yes. So don't forget to like and subscribe. YouTube and Facebook, we're the BlabberMalt Show, and X, Spotify, and all the other places at BlabberMalt.
Heck yeah, guys. Until then, stay malty, Cleveland.